Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into this video. My name is Lindsay Wright and I'm a part of the Newtopia team. For those of you who don't know, Newtopia helps people make sense of how to get healthy and stay healthy. We work with you one-on-one to encourage small incremental lifestyle and habit changes that lead to big and lasting health improvements. A few weeks ago, we surveyed our participants to find out what holiday health and well-being questions they have for our expert psychologist. Thank you to everyone who filled out the survey. We got a lot of great questions. Today, it is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Karyn Hood, who will be answering these questions. Dr. Karyn Hood is a clinical psychologist and the director of behavioral science for Newtopia. She is responsible for developing the habit change program for emotional wellness and lifestyle management that are the foundation of our wellbeing program. Dr. Hood also has extensive experience in cognitive behavioral therapy for depression and anxiety. She has been providing psychotherapy for over 15 years. Karyn, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you for that very warm welcome, Lindsay, and for inviting me to participate in what's really a very important discussion.
I know our participants are looking forward to having some of their questions answered, so I'm just going to get right started with it. So a theme that came up a lot in the survey was about holiday food and self-control surrounding eating. A lot of our participants talked about their cravings for salty or sweet treats and holiday foods. And some even spoke about self-sabotage, feeling overwhelmed, and just in general that there's so many temptations. So what advice do you have for any participants feeling this way and in the holiday season for their mentality around eating?
So one of the mindsets or the ways that we think about the holidays is maintain, don't gain. So this is, of course, talking about weight loss or talking about your healthy habits. This is probably not the time you're going to make huge traction. If you are one of those people that are already in momentum and really going strong, continue, of course. But if you're feeling like this is an overwhelming time, there's a lot going on, there's a lot of temptations, this would be a time to think about how can I maintain my gains and my habits and not necessarily gain or get too off track. In terms of doing that, I would highly focus on one or two healthy habits. So if you've already gotten really great at water consumption, if you've gotten really great at eating more green light foods, if you've gotten really good at your sleep or movement, choose a couple of those things and really focus on those things. Those are the things that are going to keep you going, help you deal with stress, and help you deal with those temptations because it's a routine that you're following. It's things that you know and things that are going to help balance out the cravings and the feelings of being overwhelmed. The other thing is, I don't want you to deprive yourself. Again, it is the holiday, it is a time for celebration, and a lot of celebration is tied in with a little bit more, a bit more alcohol perhaps, or a little bit more fun foods or, celebratory foods. So we want balance and moderation and not deprivation. So in that sense, it's like if you really love a really great glass of wine or a couple glasses of wine or another liqueur, if you're really, really fond of, your grandmother's favorite cookies or, the Lindt chocolates, whatever it is you're really, really fond of, truffles or things like that, have them. It's not that you can't have them, but try to eat healthy during that day. Try to plan for them. Try to eat healthy in the day. Try to stick to those healthy habits in the day. And if there's a time you're going to have a treat, plan for it. And when you have it, really savor it, really enjoy it, make it an occasion, rather than just sit down and eat it quickly in the kitchen and then go back for more. Try to really create an environment where you're going to enjoy the food, whether it's, like I said, that glass of wine, whether it's that chocolate, whether it's that cookie, whether it's that cake. Sit down, be mindful, eat it slowly, really savor the experience, and you'll actually probably end up feeling like you quite enjoy it a lot more, and you may not need to go back for seconds because you've sat down and you've thoroughly enjoyed it and taken your time to enjoy it.
A lot of our participants talked about the pandemic specifically was a barrier for them to achieve their goals, just the lack of routine. They're feeling cooped up, they're at home a lot more, and they're drinking more alcohol in some cases. So just do you have any tips for, during the holidays, we do spend time at home and we do drink more alcohol and things like that. So how can our participants focus on their well-being?
Let's look at what we can control and look at what we can't control. In terms of what we can't control right now, COVID restrictions. They're changing, day to day, depending on where you are in the States. We really can't change that or control it. We can't control whether they're going to close schools or not, and our kids will be at home or hybrid learning, whatever's going on. We can't control, any changes that might be made to our holiday plans. I know the CDC is recommending that people not travel as much for the upcoming Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays. So we can't control any of that. But let's think about what can we control? What is within our sphere of influence? And what we can control are things like our routine, how much we sleep, what we do for fun or self-care, and how much we move, for example. Those are things that are within our realm of control and influence, and they're things that we know based on research can be very helpful to your mood and help to keep you more straight and narrow during the holidays and help you feel more grounded.
Just sort of to narrow in on the holiday season, we specifically asked our participants if they were looking forward to the holidays, why or why not. And many of them talked about that they found this time of year difficult to enjoy. So do you have any, just this year in particular?
This year in particular, yeah.
Yes, not always. A lot of them said they usually like the holidays. This year, they're a bit worried about it. So do you
Yeah,
have any tips about staying positive for this 2020 holiday season?
during 2020. Yeah, I think you're right. Usually the holidays are, associated with positive emotions, joy, hope, peace, love, connection, family. And this year it feels like that's overshadowed a little bit by some of the pandemic related concerns and just how stressed we've been feeling throughout this year. So in terms of that, I do have a plan that I work with my clients with on how to enhance that. One thing I would say above all else is focus on what's most important to you and your family and your loved ones during the holiday season. Those things may need to be modified, but they don't need to be deleted. They don't need to be changed entirely. So for example, if you're a family that loves decorations, you love the tree, you love the lights, you love the excitement of putting out cute characters, whatever it is that gives back to your family, do that, do more of that, do it earlier. I'm even finding people get your Christmas decorations, or if it's a tree, if it's garlands, whatever it is, get that stuff up early, light up your life, enjoy the ambiance, enjoy what decoration brings to all of our lives, that little bit of light in our life. Lastly, on that point, I would say one way to bring back joy to the holiday season is to really practice gratitude. I mean, between Thanksgiving and the holidays, around Christmas time, we know that there's a lot to be thankful for. And I think often in previous years and maybe in this year too, we can get very caught up in stresses. We can get caught up in expectations and gift buying and all the things we need to do. But this would be a year as well to just take a few minutes every day and really reflect on what you're grateful for.
And just sort of to pivot a little bit, but our participants also talked about peer pressure and family sort of not necessarily issues, but just not focusing on themselves first and wanting to put the health goals of their family above their own. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about a support system through the holidays and beyond for our participants.
Yeah, so important and so challenging. If people are on side with you, right, they lift you up, they uplift you, and they help us with our goals. But if people are not understanding our goals, or people are wanting us to sort of be more on side with less healthy goals, it can be super challenging. And the holidays are one of those times when people just feel like it's the end of the year, it's here, let's just let it all go. But what I would suggest in this situation is really sit down, take a few minutes, and really recommit to your reasons why. What are your personal goals that you want to achieve by having a healthier lifestyle? And in this example, be really, really specific. So is it I want to be healthier and I want to stick to my goals because by next year I want to be able to be running around in the spring with my grandchildren with less pain because I've lost more weight. Whatever your why is, sit down. I know we've done this in the program. You probably did it earlier on in the program. Now's a good time to take stock again. Go back, write them out, post them somewhere where you can see them and review them, share them with loved ones, share them with family so they realize how important this is to you. And so they'll be less likely to pull you offside and more interested in helping you stick to those plans once we say them. The other thing you can do is try to get an accountability partner. So whether that's a coworker, someone who's also doing the Newtopia program at work, talk with them. Also, of course, your inspirator is always there to be that ultimate accountability partner, but really make a pledge or contract or talk to those people that are going to lift you up about, what can we do to stay on track, troubleshoot with them, problem solve with them about the creative solutions of staying on track during the holiday season.
I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I just wanted to talk about sleep throughout the holidays. So our participants actually averaged 8 hours of sleep per night, which is amazing.
Which is really quite good.
I know, I was surprised. So everybody's obviously taking the power of sleep lesson really well.
Yes.
But we do know with the holidays and, it can be stressful. So how do you recommend to maintain these great sleep habits throughout the season?
Yeah. So one of the things I would say is really look at your current routine. I know many of us, in terms of bedtime routine, many of us, including myself, have gotten, the clock is ticking later and later and later, and we're staying up a lot later than we normally would. So if we're already not going to bed until 12 or 1, now's the time to take stock of that now, because if we don't, it's going to get later and later with the holidays. So maybe we want to do a little inventory and see how late we're getting to bed on average, and see how we can move that back a little bit, just so we can maximize and maintain those great 8 hours as we go into the holiday season. Ways you can do that is set a reminder on your phone to wind down and start to wind down and get ready even an hour before you'd like to get to bed. So you make sure you do what you have to do, get prepared for bed, and you're ready to go to bed in good time. The other thing we do, I find during the holidays, often people's minds are really busy, whether it's your never-ending to-do list because it's the holidays, whether it's a Christmas gift list, whether it's just all the things you have to do in managing work and home and kids and all the rest, is try to dump your mind. Do what I call a mind dump. So if those thoughts are interfering and maybe going to keep you up or prevent you from getting to sleep, rather than let them play out that way, work at writing them out beforehand. So get a little notepad. I prefer you not use your electronics. So go old school and get a piece of paper or get a little notebook and write out, what are the things I have to do the next day? Or what are those, oh, that's a great Christmas gift idea or holiday gift idea. Let me write that down or jot that down. Give your mind permission to turn off because you've already captured the things that you need to capture for the day, then you put it aside.
So Karyn, 75% of our survey respondents actually said that they do make time for themselves to recharge and do things that they enjoy on a regular basis. So what do you suggest for the other 25% that said that they actually don't do that?
So in terms of self-care for those 25%, I would say make it simple. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I have to have a holiday I participate in an hour 3 times a week. Self-care does not have to be that. It can be very simple things. So make it simple. Add something small every day just for you, whether it's 60 seconds of gratitude, reflecting on what you're most grateful for, whether it's 3 minutes of breathing just to relax you and center you again. It could be 10 minutes of writing down your intentions or writing in a journal. And it could be 15 minutes talking to a friend or taking a walk. All I'm saying is little things like that are cumulative and they add up, can help to de-stress you, improve your mood, and help you feel those little moments of joy in the day that we all need just to keep us going. So all I would say is start small, even little small things, make that acknowledgement, make that effort, it all adds up.
Thank you, for sure. Great tips for holidays and beyond. And Karyn, on behalf of our participants and our survey respondents, I want to thank you so much for your thoughtful responses and for giving us all of your great knowledge today.
Well, thanks, Lindsay. I enjoyed being here, and I hope that some of these tips and recommendations hit home for people and they're able to incorporate even 1 or 2 of these things into their holiday plan so that they can help maintain the best mental health and the best ways of coping throughout the holiday season. And I wish everyone best a happy and healthy holiday season ahead.
For sure, thank you. We really appreciate it. And for our participants, if you have any other health and well-being questions this holiday season or beyond, your Inspirator is always available to you, as Dr. Karyn Hood mentioned. Or if you haven't yet registered for Newtopia, we invite you to call or email our client care team at 1-888-639-8181, extension 601, or clientcare@newtopia.com. Thank you again, everyone, for watching, and all the best for a happy and healthy holiday season.